Are there litter boxes in Texas schools? It's March 13th, 2025, and these are your headlines. A Texas lawmakers taking aim at furries in public schools with new legislation that would prohibit students from engaging in non-human behavior on campus. House Bill 4814 by Representative Stan Gertis, also known as the Forbidding Unlawful Representation of Role-Playing in Education Act, the F.U.R.R.I.E.S Act, seeks to ban students from presenting themselves as anything other than a human being during school hours, except on, of course, designated dress-up days. The bill explicitly prohibits behaviors associated with the so-called furry subculture, including wearing animal-like accessories such as tails, collars, or artificial ears, as well as engaging in actions like meowing, barking, or using a litter box. Imagine having to explain this kind of legislation just a few years ago, and yet here we are. The legislation also amends the family code to define allowing children to believe such behaviors are socially acceptable as a form of abuse. Now, if passed, this would require all public school districts to include prohibitions on non-human behavior in their student codes of conduct. Schools or employees found violating the law could face penalties, including fines issued by the Attorney General. A group of lawmakers is calling on House leadership to skip all attempts by the gambling lobby to expand gambling in Texas during this session. Representative Carissa Richardson posted a joint letter signed by 14 Republican colleagues urging Representative Ken King to resist pressure from gambling proponents during the legislative session. Now, Ken King chairs the House State Affairs Committee, which would likely oversee any gambling-related legislation. The letter, circulated this week, underscores growing opposition among Republican lawmakers to gambling expansion efforts, coming at the same time as a spiraling scandal engulfs the Texas Lottery Commission and a wave of electoral losses hits gambling supporters. Now, in 2024, proponents of expanded gambling in the state lost multiple races in which incumbents had supported efforts to legalize sports betting or casinos. A sports betting legalization measure narrowly passed the House in 2023 with 101 votes. Richardson and her 14 co-signers, many of whom replaced pro-gambling lawmakers, have stated opposition, dooming similar efforts in 2025. Of the letter's signatories, 11 are freshmen who unseated incumbents favoring gambling expansion, which is a major setback to the gambling industry's agenda. Well, despite these setbacks, the gambling industry, led by heavyweights like Las Vegas Sands, which operates casinos in China, not Vegas, and the Texas Sports Betting Alliance, have again poured millions into an army of lobbyists in a blitz of virtual ads aimed at swaying lawmakers and public opinion.
Are Texans playing the lottery, or is the lottery playing Texans?
Say, make money, money, make money, money, money.
There's an old saying that says, don't put the people who cause the problem in charge of solving the problem.
I'm Daniel Greer with Texas Scorecard. This is Rigged, coming March 19th.
Texas senators have passed a couple measures now to complement the federal Make America Healthy Again initiative. Senate Bill 25 by Lois Kolkhorst would require school districts to increase student physical activity. It would also improve nutritional education for future health professionals and implement stricter warning labels on certain foods. Additionally, it would establish a 7-member Texas Nutrition Advisory Committee, which will help develop nutritional guidelines for Texans after examining the impact in nutrition on health and reviewing studies on ultra-processed foods. It passed unanimously yesterday, as well as you had legislation by Senator Brian Hughes pass, Senate Bill 314, expanded further on those efforts. That one passed 30-1. The measure seeks to prevent certain food additives from being used in schools' free or reduced price meals and would prevent school districts from receiving the program's benefits if found non-compliant. Other MAHA bills include Senate Bill 379 by Mays Middleton, which would prohibit the purchase of junk foods and sweetened drinks, sodas, things like that, through the Federal Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, or SNAP. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.